Hi, friends. It's Allison. Welcome back to AJ's Inspired Life. Welcome if you're new. Okay, I have chosen the item of the month for my challenge for September of 2025. So if you have not watched that video and you want to go back and watch it, it also tells you what the prompt is for October of 2025. If you happen to be watching this one first, well, surprise. The item of the month for September 2025 is die cuts. So, one of the things I like to do is sometimes share my supplies with you, like what I'm working with and why it's an item I chose, because, you know, the whole purpose of the challenge for me, and it was just a challenge for me, and I am so excited that other people are choosing to join in, is to use my stash and use my supplies, which I don't normally reach for. And die cuts is definitely one I don't reach for. Obviously, the ones that include like a machine, a thing, a setup, whatever, those are harder for me to include on my daily pages, right? So die cuts does not get reached for very often. So I want to show you my supplies. It's also a time for me to review my supplies and really say, like, am I using it? Well, obviously no, but like, why am I not using it? Could I store it differently? What would make it easier on me? Like, what's the block, right? Basically. So I'm going to talk to you about my supply setup, and hopefully by the end of September, maybe I've made some changes and we can figure out some stuff together. Okay. The first thing I want to talk about is, well, first of all, my room is very, very small. So I have I have a bed in here that's a Murphy bed. It's a desk. So my desk is fairly big, but it folds into a bed, if that makes sense. And so there's no drawers underneath. And then the room itself is very tiny. Okay. So I don't have like a setup place for my die cut and station and all that kind of stuff. So that's obviously the first barrier. So I do have a very tiny table set up now on the other side of the room where I have my Sizzix. Okay. So the first thing I'll share with you is I have, I think, 4 die cutting machines. I have the very, very old Sizzix, which is like in the closet, the red thing with the handle that comes down. I have that. I also have another one by Paper Wizard, which was the first one I had, that is also very old, like probably 20 years old at this point, that could fit multiple different dies, which was pretty cool. And you kind of crank it like this. And I really still like that, although it is in my closet and I never use it. The third one I have is what I have out now, which is my Sizzix, but it like folds up. It has some thing. And if you guys want me to get out and die cut with you, please let me know below. Okay. But so the Sizzix is the one I have out, but it's fairly compact. It has, the plates that come up and then you can fold them out. And then you crank through the die cut like this. Okay. So all of those are like single use at a time. You put one thing in, all of these things. Okay, here's a great example. So this is like one that would go on the old one, but my new one fits this as well, because it also can do multi-sizes, which is really, really important because through the years I have multiple sizes, okay, which most of us do. So, but if I'm going to cut this, I get 4 stars, and if I need 100 stars, or if I need, whatever, then I'm doing it, whatever. I'm thinking about like for kids' school or whatever. So those are the die cut machines I have like that. I also have a Cricut machine. Now I have the very original Cricut machine. Okay. And it had these, cartridges in it. Now you can see this one I got at, Goodwill for $5, which is a smoking deal. I really like this one. I tend to, and I'll show you with my other Sizzix. I purchase, have, whatever, a lot of things like numbers and alphabets, because that's what I was using them a lot in scrapbooking. Okay. So this one's super cool. It's a calendar design. I currently don't have any room for my Cricut. So if I want to use my Cricut, I have to like get it out, find a space in here. Like it would be setting up in here, plugging it in, doing the thing. And like, I'm obviously not doing that. So the first change is, I think my husband and I have decided that this room may become, it is my craft room, but because we have 2 children that don't live here, we have people visiting less often, and I think we can kind of say that this room will permanently be my craft room, and I won't have to have it because all my carts are on wheels, so we can wheel them out into the garage and make this into a bedroom like today if we needed to. Okay. That being said, I might bring in like a permanent table or a permanent dresser, like to put on the other side of the room. The room's very tiny. It's maybe 10 feet by 10. I'm not too sure, but it has a great closet, which is full of scrapbooking stuff. But if I could set up like a permanent dresser in there that was longer, I might be able to set up my Cricut machine. And I know it's an old one, but this is like one of my favorite like ones. I don't know. I think it's super cool with the numbers and everything. I don't know. So anyway, so I have the Cricut. So those are the machines I have. Okay. That being said, I did not get out all my Cricut boxes for you. I probably have 8 of these. Okay. 8 different Cricut designs. So if you want me to show them to you, I know everyone else has like the new cooler ones and the ones that go on the computer and all the other amazing things. And I am not progressing into that level of die cutting. I'm just not. It's not something I even want to look at or invest in. None of it. Okay. So what I have is this machine and I have my Sizzix machine. So, anyway, but I would love to cut. I don't know. I would love to get out this machine and learn to work it better. The other thing with this machine is we are not always friends. I find it very kind of technical and kind of, I would say glitchy. I don't know if glitchy is the right word, but it has a mind of its own. Sometimes it cuts really well through paper. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it gets stuck. Sometimes it, whatever. I don't even know. But I do enjoy the Cricut and it's so cool. Obviously, you all know, right? You can just punch in what you need and it'll print out 4 Decembers or 5, whatever. And you can walk away and go heat up your coffee and come back. So the Cricut, I know is a cool machine and the newer ones are amazing. I know you guys all have the silhouettes and the cool Cricuts and all that kind of stuff. I do not have that. So this is what I have to work with. So I have this Cricut machine. I probably have 6 or 8 of these. If you want to see what ones I do have, let me know below. I don't know. So I have the Cricut. I'm going to try and get this out and use it this month for September. Egads. Okay. So I'm going to try and do that. Okay. I do have probably 8 or 10 of these Sizzix Sizzlets. Now these are very old, but I love them. And this is what I'm talking about. They're alphabet. Okay. And they're all different fonts. And so this is what I used to do a lot of my scrapbooking letters with. This is all like 20 years old, I know, at least, but I love them. And so I have like probably 8 different fonts, okay, that are on these Sizzlets, these really thin ones, okay? So I have that. I have this entire set, which was my very first set with Sizzix. I think it came with the machine. I have these numbers of this lollipop, if you will, and I have the entire alphabet. Now, again, if you're not familiar with this, it's because it's so old school. You're running each one of these through like individually, right? So if I want a set of numbers for the month, there is no 30. You're running a 3 and a 0. And then you're running, you're running the 3 for the 3, you're running the 3 for the 13, you're running the 3 for the 23, you're running the 3 for the 30, 31, 30, whatever. And this is the old machine I still have. And again, it's in my closet. I don't use it. I do use the new Sizzix that you can run through. This set of numbers I got obviously at Goodwill, maybe $6, if not less. But the alpha set was my original set that I've had forever. Okay. So I have this entire set. I have like, I think 8 different fonts of these Sizzix. Okay. So that's all kind of that old school. I also have this font, which is called Ransom. And again, it goes, you can see it, look how dusty it is. It's just in my closet. I have not gotten these out in forever. I'm actually excited to get them out, but I guess they look like that. I mean, they look like this. The hard part with these die cuts is when they show it to you, they look amazing. And you realize, for me at least, when you cut it, like you'd have to cut that twice. You'd have to cut it out of dark blue and light blue and then inner swap them, right? But it's still a super cool font. Okay. So I do have that Ransom set as well. Okay. Let's look at my other things that I have. I'm going to show you how I store them and then God, if nothing falls during this video, it's going to be a miracle. Okay, let's look. I have this thick one. Again, Sizzix, this is stars number 2. If any of you are interested, I'll try and share with you what they are. I don't know what a lot of them are, obviously. So this is old school thick, but again, it still works in my thing. And I actually just got this recently at a haul. And I think stars are always usable. So off the top of my head, obviously it could be July. It could easily be October. It could be Christmas and New Year's easily without any stretch. You could use them for lots of other things too. So stars is always usable. Okay, as we go through here, one of the things I'm wondering, so I have 2 of these baskets in my closet, and it makes it kind of like easy to grab the whole basket out. I don't know if I need these plastic cases on here. Do you guys throw these out? I feel like I might get rid of these plastic boxes because I don't think I need them. So we can have that conversation. So here is a Tim Holtz Alterations. I'm not sure if I ever used this one. I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't know if I paid $20 for it. I would assume I did not. This sort of thing I tend to get like at the Scrapbook Expo, and maybe it was like a purchase with a purchase or something. I don't know. Like, anyway, it has this little doll form. It has a spool and it has a button. Oh, but see, I would need, so I do have, okay, we're going to make some, well, I won't do it all with you. I'm going to make some adjustments on these because this is what bothers me on here. So I think I'll maybe cut the boxes so they don't stick up and won't bother me because I do want this piece of card in here, right? So anyway, that's my first one. We're not going to do that with all of them. Don't worry. That would take, we'd all be here forever, but that's going to bother me too down here. Okay. But if you want it, it's Tim Holtz for Sizzix. I don't know. If you see something, you guys, and you want to comment below, and I'm not going to go through each one of these and figure it out. So it's a Biggs Die sewing room. Okay. All right. So I have sewing room. Here's another Sizzix. Now this box is better because it's tighter, but again, it means getting it out of the box. It's one more step. Some people store their dies in here. Now this, I think, was the ones that came in it. They always give you a sample. This die I love so much. Okay. It is so much fun to play with. It makes beautiful flowers. These things right here, if you cut 3 of them or whatever, make a beautiful flower. You don't have to make a bug with it. It obviously makes a bee and a butterfly. So that's a really fun set. Here's a fun birthday cake. Again, it says clearance. I'm not going to lie, you guys. I don't know if I've ever used this. I don't know. I want my birthday cake to look like this. Okay. But please realize this is, for every color, it's a cut, right? It means you're running it through for every color. So 1, 2, 3, I guess 4, and 5 is the dots. Maybe they did it. So maybe 4 or 5 cuts to get this cake. And again, you could alter them. So you'd have 5 different sets. You would alter them. You'd have one pink cake, one dark pink, you know, whatever. But I don't know. I just don't tend to do it. But I'll tell you what we're going to be doing this month, friends. We're going to be die cutting. So we're going to figure out a system. So I have a cake. All right. This is a fun flower set. I've used this one, or I used to use this one quite a bit. It obviously is a, you know, layered flower. You can cut it out of different colors. I actually really like doing this out of patterned paper. Maybe not the solid all the time. And like something with a text on it. I really like this one. For that. So I'm going to come back and recut these boxes without you guys. Here's a fun pumpkin. But again, this is showing lots of shading, right? And then you're cutting out the face out of black, and then you're coloring or inking and doing all this stuff. I tend to cut this pumpkin out of shaded paper, like different orangey paper, if you will. Yeah. All right. Here is a fun one. It's, really honestly maybe one of my first that I ever bought, like little brads and bolts and like all that kind of stuff. Haven't used it in so long. Here's another fun flower. Here is another fun flower. Now I rarely use the flower. I really like these things right here. and cutting those out. Okay, so these are all, this is an original and this is a big. So you can see the difference in size there. And I don't even know if the original red machine holds these bigs. I think that was the first thing they did, was like expand their dies. We had to go buy new things. I don't even know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But I have quite a few of the bigs. But these are all those thick, you know, foam die cuts. Now here's a Christmas one. Really fun. But again, this is 1, 2, 3 cuts to get this one thing, if that makes sense. I'm sure it makes sense. You all know how to die cut. Okay, here is embossing and stenciling dies. I think this might have been a hand-me-down. I'm not too sure. This is Spellbinders, so this is my other machine I have. Maybe I got this with the machine as well. So this is what the machine looks like for those of you that aren't familiar. I love this machine too. This was the first one. So this was the first one that you kind of did this like sandwich thing with. It fit the different sizes of dies. It fit these really thin ones as well as these thick ones. Okay. And you put it through and you would like ratchet the handle and it would send it through this way, right? Yeah, pretty cool. So this is a fun set. I'm not great at using these. I use them mostly for die cutting. I'm not great at the embossing part, if that makes sense, because this one is embossing and stenciling, or embossing, stenciling, and cutting. Okay. And I use it mostly for cutting. I can almost promise you this was a hand-me-down. It might be from Gigi. So, okay. So that's this box, and I will probably reorganize all of this because it doesn't make any sense. I'm going to put the pumpkins and the Christmas in the back, and then we'll put these in here for now, and we'll see what we want to do. Does one more fit this way? Yes. And does this one fit? It does. And nice. Okay. So that's this box. I'm going to try and make a space. Okay. All right. I do have another box like that. And again, these are in my closet, so they are not getting a lot of attention, I can promise you. I really hope that was in frame. Okay, I will try and do better. Okay, this is a second box. So again, we'll decide what to do about the plastic boxes. This is another Tim Holtz for Sizzix. This is what I was saying. So this is a flower. He obviously, because Tim, you know, Tim is all kind of antique-y and vintage and whatever. So that is a very cool flower on that printed, you know, kind of text paper. It's pretty similar to that other flower. I mean, it's not. These are different, but you know, do you need two? Probably not. So that's one. And again, this one, it looks like I got at Goodwill for maybe $7. This one's super cool. This is another Tim Holtz for Sizzix. Look at that bird and that branch. Now, I have used this a few times. I really like this one. He shows it obviously grungy and whatnot. I've definitely made a lighter branch, if you will, and a spring bird type thing. This one's pretty cool. Again, Goodwill. All right. Here is another really fun one from Sizzix. I love this one. These are the Sizzlets. They're small, the flat ones. These shapes are super fun to play with, though. They obviously also could make a bug. Let me just make sure that hold on one second. I have you still, actually. Hold on, because I want to compare. I want to compare these two, because this is why you have to know your stash too. And by you, I mean me. I you know, because when I'm at Goodwill, I need it. And when I get home, I'm like, I probably could have made that. I mean, okay. So you can see it has some very similar pieces, although different. This piece, this wing right here, if you will, is pretty similar to this. And this body right here is pretty similar to this. So you could make a bug very easily. You can see body, wings, antennae. Over here, it doesn't even have just the antennae. It has this little head, but Anyway, kind of multi-use. This is a very fun set. I really actually like this set a lot. And I used to use it all the time. Okay, here's another Sizzix. This is a pumpkin and leaves. Obviously, it has a little line down the middle, if you can see that. Love it. All right, let's see what else is in this box. We have, oh, I do love this feather. Now, this is a Spellbinders. And there, it's a big, you can see, they're good size feathers. I actually really enjoy this one. But again, unless you're making like 25 of these crafts or 25 of these things for Christmas or for Thanksgiving or whatever, for table decorations or napkin holders or something, I don't know how many times I'm going to die cut a feather and put it on my page, my daily journaling page, but I do love it. Okay, let's see what this one is. Oh, this is another Tim Holtz. I used to use this one a lot. I do like the heart. It has a heart, a wings, and a crown. I've used this one actually quite a bit. Oh, and I'm sorry, a solid heart behind it. So again, to get this thing that he made, you have to cut it 4 times. Plus embellish it. Well, maybe you could use paper that's already embellished, but yeah. Love it. All right. This one has some scribbles on it. This one is one of my originals. One of my original purchases also. It goes with the other little tab set I had that had like brads and little things. And this is all, those were my first purchases from Sizzix, these little tiny tags. Again, I'm not too sure. I mean, they're not very big. Look how small those are. I'm not too sure how often I would use those, honestly. So some of these we may decide to get rid of because if I'm not using them, it may be time to let them go. But I will tell you, the minute I will let them go, I will feel sad. Because I have future hopes for future things and, you know, maybe someone else using them in the future, I guess, is my hope. So, I know that sounds weird, but anyway, so that's that one. This is a super fun one. I've made one card out of this. They get me. Every time I go to the Scrapbook Expo, they get me. It's stuff like this. This card is amazing and so fun. It's a fliplet. What do they call it? Flippets. Framelits Flippets. Framelits Flippets. And it looks like this, friends. It's quite a bit. It's quite a bit of pieces and cuts and all the things. Yeah. But I love that card so much, and I've made one. All right, what else is in here? Oh, these are my little, I also have this little tiny Sizzix. This little Sizzix is a little tiny one, the Sidekick. I don't even know, I don't think they make it anymore. In fact, I'm pretty sure they don't. And I found these are the sandwich plates that you put everything in between. But this is a super fun little... so if you want to just use these little guys on your desk, this little thing just sits on your desk. You can crank out these little things. So these are the plates that go in there. Here is a little embosser die of tags and little things here. Yeah. There is a like sunflower seed in there. That is honestly scary. I don't even know what that could be from. I mean, I don't even know. Okay. So we're going to put these back in here. We have to go through some of my stash, friends, because we got to clean it up and use it or get rid of it. This, I know somehow there's something that goes, this is all in here together for a reason. So I'm going to leave that out there. I will put these plates back in there just into, see, this makes me nervous. This thing gives me, okay. And I will, okay, that's enough of that. I'm not going to play around with you. All right. Let's see. I have a few more loose ones on my desk. Let's see what else we have. Some of these, you know, I've bought recently and I've showed you. This was at Goodwill, but I had to have it. Not even for the die cuts, but, and let me know your thoughts, please. If you could let me know below. If you have a set, and I've asked this before, and I think I think I know what works best for me, but I'm always interested in what people say. So please let me know your thoughts. If you have a set that's a stamp and a die cut, do you keep them with your stamps? Do you keep them with your die cuts, or do you keep them separate? Like, right? Because I had to have this. Like, it says snail mail for you. Sorry, I'm late. It has a little snail, whatever. It also has some matching die cuts to some of these pieces. Look at that mushroom. And I love you so much. Is that not the cutest thing? So I would use this more for the stamps than the die cuts, but that obviously is silly. If you're going to stamp it, you could die cut it. So that's a fun set. This one's really fun. It is a, Simon Says stamp, which is, it says friend. And it's a double layer die cut. Now, I don't know if, let's see. Nope, it just says steel craft die. So it's an inside and an outside. Like, you could cut this in a dark blue and this in a light blue and overlap it. It's super cute. I didn't know, it is a stamp company and they do make stamps. I don't know if it has like anything that goes with it or not, or if it was just intended this way, but super cute. And I got it at the craft store for $2, or thrift store rather, sorry. This is a fine petal leaf branches and a die. And I think it has both pieces in here. Super cute. So these are super fun. And sometimes well, first of all, I really enjoy die cutting out of paper, but also out of magazines. And so, I sometimes will take my die cutter upstairs, like while my husband's watching football, and we'll sit together and watch a game, and I can die cut a bunch at a time, right? Not for a specific page, but a bunch at a time, which I really enjoy. Excuse me as I sip some coffee. It's 2:30 in the afternoon, and I'm having coffee. This is a Stamps of Life company, stamp and die cut. Really cute though. Okay. I'm going to put them together. My stamps and die cuts I'm going to put together for right now and just see. I think I got all these at a thrift store. This is not a brand I'm familiar with. This one is Believe with some stamps. Believe you can achieve anything, it looks like. I don't know how they get. Yeah, it looks like they cut something different here. Whatever, the actual die cut is this word believe. So that's fun. And these are thin. These are thin, right? Oh, these are the ones I showed you. I did this on a a haul a while ago, and it has this frame that goes around it, and they're all cut in the bottom, and I thought they were broken. And all of you said, no, don't be sad. It is absolutely supposed to come that way. So that's really fun. This is gorgeous, you guys. Can you see that? I don't know how they did that. I think they did it in white and then colored part of it green and red and all that kind of stuff, but gorgeous. Okay. That's just a die. Okay. This one is Friends, and it says friends are the joy of life. This is the stamp and then the word. So we'll put that up there. Here is another beautiful, frame of cut flowers. That is stunning. Okay. So again, I am so excited to be going through my stuff. I love my stuff. I love these supplies. I love creating with them. I just tend to get in either a pattern of behavior or like a crunch for time, which is totally self-imposed. I know, where I'm not going to go like across the room and look for a thing and look for the thing and get the perfect paper. And, I don't know, but look at that. That's going to be stunning for September. Okay. Oh, sorry. That's a die cut. We'll put that one down here. And this one's really cool. I actually really like these. I love this whole square. I like it. It's a background. It's a pocket. It can be anything you want it to be, except it's coming out of its thing, which is, you got to get it together, friend. It's just circles. I mean, like really cool that you would just overlay, right? Something. I really like these. Okay, that one's fun. All right, I just bought these. I mean, I don't know, at one of my hauls. I don't even know if you've seen that haul. I have a couple filmed that I haven't shown you guys. This for 50 cents, obviously. So here is a very cool sun. I don't know if you can see this. Now, this is an old Sizzix. This is sun number 2. It's a cool sun. I'm going to put it over here. We might separate things out a little. And here's another little flower. which again, I just thought might be kind of fun. For 50 cents, I really have a hard time. And again, I really have a vision of my stuff being used. So we'll see. Here is a Sizzix. That's one of the thin ones. Sizzlets, sorry. But a fun snowflake. And here is a big one, a big snowflake. And I thought those were really fun to have. So I recently just got those at the thrift store. Okay, so these were not in a box. These all need to go in a box. And so I'm going to put them all up there like that. All right, here is my actual storage out on my desk. Of not this desk, the desk behind me with my actual cutter. Okay. Now you guys have seen this before in some sort of video before. It is I think this is a Happy Planner box. Okay. It has separations in here, and I tend to put, I would like this to be my box of storage. Now, I obviously have too much that doesn't fit in this box. Like all those big Sizzix things are not going to fit in here. The Cricut cartridges, obviously not going to fit in here. So I need to have a little bit different system. But this sits on my desk. This is the one thing I have out on the desk with the Sizzix machine next to it. That's kind of like what fits there. Okay. So I'm going to do this maybe. It's an awful big shadow. I do apologize for that. Not too sure. I guess I could maybe hold it on my lap and not give you that whole shadow. Let's see what's in this box because it's pretty stuffed. All right. So the first thing in the back is I have this long die, which is super fun. Now, if you're going to cut this, now you can see I've cut part of it, right? Because that's the length of the cutting plate. I do have longer cutting plates, but I didn't need a longer one. I only needed this big because that's how big my page was. So I just cut this much of it. But really a fun die. I really think that's, I tend to like the ones that I think are kind of like more usable, right? Not only for one season or whatever. And I really like this. Now, I will tell you, it's pretty intricate and not super easy to glue on and all the things. Okay, so I have that long one. Oh, I also have a long one like that of pumpkins. I can tell you right now, and it's not here. It's in my Halloween pocket of scrapbooking stuff. So I can tell you right now, I do have another one of these. It's a long row of pumpkins. Okay. All right, here's another Framelits by Sizzix Framelits. This is another card. I've never made this card. I can tell you when I bought this. I can tell you why I bought it, and I've never made this card. It's a lot. It has 28 dies inside to make this card. 28. Yeah. Okay. Good talk. All right, so we're going to put that aside. All right, here's two more of those Gemini ones that I bought. That is stunning. So see the snowflakes? Oh yeah, so there's the outside frame. These were all from the same person. They're all cut the exact same. And I was worried they were all broken. And all of you said no. So I will figure out how to use them. I've obviously not used them yet. I might figure out a different storage. I'm not too sure, but just gorgeous. And remember, I just bought these other snowflakes, so we could add stuff, right? We could make a snowflake card or something like that. And here's a heart one. Very cute. I'm actually going to put them up here with these other ones, these other Gemini ones. So I will reorganize a little bit off camera. Okay, here is a giant Goodwill, $5 in the linen section. I don't know how they label some of their stuff, I tell you. It's coming out of its box. Let's see what it is. It is a giant die cut flower. I've never used it. I don't know. I don't know what this is. It's a giant die, movers and shapers. Card and a flower flip it. So I guess the flower cuts and folds over. I'm not too sure. Oh yeah, see this fold right here? So it embosses the, or emboss? No, what do you call it when you, anyway. So that's kind of fun. Maybe we'll make a flower card. Don't know. Don't know right now. but some of these storage boxes are going to be in the trash in about an hour after I finish this, I can tell you. So that's kind of fun. Giant Sizzix one. All right, what else do I have? Okay, the rest are kind of in different packaging. Let's see. Oh, here's another card I've never made. Had to have it. I do think I paid $20. I think like at the Scrapbook Expo, if you buy 3, they're half off, or, you know, something of that nature. I don't know. Really cool card. And again, you don't have to put the snowflake and the Merry Christmas. It could just be a birthday card or something like that. I don't know. But again, excuse me, really pretty. 11 dies. Really pretty. All right. This one's fun. Okay, this is a giant, like, flower. Okay, that one's fun. And here is a giant C word from the year that we had that happening in our life. That is in this box. So we will be repackaging some of this stuff because gosh knows we don't use that. Although I did make quite a few of them that year. All right, here is another. Oh, this one's fun. I've made this one time. I didn't even make it. I didn't even make the whole thing. Look how stinking cute this is. It's a chapstick holder. Uh-huh. I know. I know. It has 13 dies. Like, oh my gosh. So stinking cute. So I made that in this little, I put that in this little box. But again, ooh, why is that not? Okay. This doesn't need this whole box. Yeah. So we'll maybe figure out, I think the envelopes like this is a better situation. Okay. So here is, this really pretty flower. This is a recent purchase, I think, from the thrift store. Yeah. $2. I can't even imagine making that flower. I don't know. I get so excited when I find things like this. I'm like, that is amazing. Okay. Do you see how small these flowers? I mean, this is almost life-size picture. Look how tiny these flowers are. Look how many you would have to make this flower. Holy cow. Holy cow. I don't know. All right. Here is a really fun set that I had to have. It is a Stampin' Up set. I have the stamps. Okay, so this is a situation where I've separated the stamps from the die cuts. And I've used the stamps more than the die cuts because, well, just because, I don't know. I had to have this. Obviously, it has a boat and a whatever, but I don't even know if I've ever used the die cuts. I'm going to put this one up here just because I want to look for the stamps. Here's a fun one. What is this? No idea. This says new clay decoration. I don't know what this says. Maybe I had something else in this bag. I don't know. Oh, it's a die cut. It's a bird, a branch. Yeah. I think I probably bought this from the thrift or made. I don't know. This is a magnet sheet. Now, some of you keep all your dies on magnet sheets. And so that's that idea. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to switch this over just like this. That obviously helps because then you're not dealing with that. Okay. So I might go to this idea because it's obviously way thinner, obviously, than this as well. Right? So there's a fun bird, a branch, and a flower, and a leaf. That one's cool. All right. Oh, this is one of my favorites. I do enjoy a good die cut when I get going, man. These are some beautiful leaves from Sizzix. Beautiful leaves. And I love cutting these out of magazines. I have shown you this when I did my last batch. It was probably 2 years ago. I love cutting these out. If you want to see my current, I have to get them out. I do have some current die cuts that are cut out. So, and how I store those. I don't know how that envelope even goes. I feel like it should go in here and out here. Like that. That's how it goes. Okay. Those are really fun leaves. Really fun leaves. I do really enjoy those. Okay. Okay, here is, oh no, here's another one of those ones I bought that I showed you, those Gemini ones that I thought was broken. You can see why I thought it was broken, because I don't even know, I don't even understand this. I got to look at the directions, I guess. I don't understand. But it obviously comes with an outline of a tree, and another outline of a tree. But we'll figure all that out. For right now, I'm going to put it in this pile over here. Some of you, like more than one of you commented on that, so I know you guys are familiar with using that. If you have tips on that or whatever, please let me know. All right. Here are some cats. Never used. Yeah, good talk. I'm looking in my little box over here just to make sure, because I think, okay, let's see what's on this side. I have a set of squares. Now you could cut these apart. This could make one whole sheet like this, or you can cut them apart. They have these little things right here. You could unwire these and just get out the little squares. But I think if I'm going to use this, I'm going to use it as a whole thing. I'm not too sure. I obviously haven't used it. All right, here's a fun tag making kit. You have to undo these though. You have to break it apart to use it as a kit. Obviously, or it would cut this inside of this and then it wouldn't make it. Okay. Here's a fun thing of numbers of a die. I have a bunch of numbers of a die. I don't know where this set is, so we'll, I guess, look for that. Here is a really pretty flower. I love this. I thought it was bigger when I bought it. You know, I thought it was the size of like a card, maybe 4x6 or something, and it's obviously not, but it's really pretty. I do really enjoy that one. I guess I'll just keep making a pile. This one's really fun. This one's a bit much for me. This is a little outside of my patience, if you will. It is super, super intricate. Super, super intricate. So you need that little tool and you're like, tick, 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 poking all this out. This is like what you do when you watch TV and just your brain's kind of doing its own thing. Okay, same thing with these two pieces. Okay, but really pretty. Thrift store, I'm sure. All right. The next thing I have is this little photo book because I think this is a pretty good way for me to store some dies. So we have some in here. This is a set of pigs. Now this goes with a stamp that I have. So again, I think I need to start storing those together. I'm never going to use just the die. What I do use is just the stamp, and they are in a stamp book. So I have to maybe think that, but maybe I don't know. This is the same deal. This is like a little woman. This is like a Dilution set, I think. All right, this one. Oh, this is a different one. So I have two. They're very similar. Where did that one go? This is a, well, this is another sailboat lighthouse palm tree thing. Okay. This one goes in here. This is again another stamp set. These are fun. This is a different brand, obviously. Die cut and embosser. Maybe a cutter. Pretty. Really pretty. Same. Okay, this is the die cut to this stamp. So this is probably how I should keep them. That makes more sense. So this one on that, this looks like this same thing to me too. So someone, I obviously bought these like this, maybe. Not too sure, but I think that's what's happening. That makes sense to me, but if I'm just looking for my stamp, I forget they're in here. So I think in my brain, I will probably, I have similar books of stamps like this, and I think I'll have my die cuts, and then I think I'll make a book or somehow store my sets that have a matching die cut and stamp. In my brain, that makes sense. We'll have stamps, we'll have die cuts, and then we'll have a thing that has matching sets in it. Or, yeah, I don't know if they're matching or whatever, but Like, I don't think I've ever used this. Yeah, happy anniversary. I can tell you why I bought it, but here is a die set. It obviously goes with stamps. I have no idea what it is. So that's actually really good. This is good for me because I got to go through, and if like, I'm not going to use this because I don't know what it is. I can't even tell you from looking at it what it is. So that tells me I have a stamp set somewhere in my stamp book, and I probably need to pull them out and put them together so I can know I can use them. Okay. So that's what's in this little that's what's in this little book. I still don't know where this is, although I know I've used it. So it could just be loose floating somewhere. Okay. All right. Oh, here's another. Oh my gosh, look at that. Is that not stunning? It, you could cut it like this, or they come apart right in the middle. You could lay them on a card that like opens up one way, or it could just be one side of a card, you know, or something. So beautiful. Okay, love that one. Okay, the last thing I have is this little book of die cuts, and then I'm going to show you. Okay, this thing is now empty, or somewhat empty. It looks like this. These are all embossers, which we went through when we had embossing as our month. Okay, these are all embossing folders. So I keep my embossers here, and then this is die cuts, and this is die cuts. If I get an actual dresser or desk or something, like this system may change. I just literally used what I had and, you know, tried to use it. I may separate my embossers. We'll see. So anyway, that's what this looks like empty. Okay, let's look at what's in this little book here. I'll put this book back in its section. Here's a fun Christmas tree. All right, this little photo book, same idea, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, this is one of my favorite die cuts ever. I've used it probably more than any other one. I love to cut this out of magazines, and I think I've showed you that before. So same idea, same thing, leaves and these. I have a whole bunch already die cut. I have them in boxes. If I'm going to use a die cut, it's because they are already cut and in a box, ready to go, or an envelope or whatever. Same idea. These, I cut all 4 of these. I just spent hours cutting upstairs watching TV, along with that other set of leaves that I showed you earlier. Absolutely love these. Some of my favorites. Same. Look at all the leaves. Yep. Love them. And I love cutting them out of pattern paper or magazines again. So if you guys want to see me do that, please let me know. If you want to, you know, do it along with me, whatever. Okay. This is a set. I think both of these, I could be wrong. These might have a stamp set that go with them. I don't remember exactly. They might not. This one I think does, but maybe not. And again, you can break all these apart. You don't have to keep it together, but I tend to just keep it together and cut a whole sheet. So more leaves. Yeah, you don't need that many leaves. Nobody needs this many leaves, but I've definitely used them, but you don't need that many leaves. Here's a love and thinking of you this season. I've definitely used this. Oh, here's this one right here. Yeah. So we actually don't need this. We actually don't need this. This is a really fun circle. I really love this circle. It just looks like a neuron or something. I don't even know. I really love that one. That one might actually really be fun for September. Anybody want to take a guess? Oh, I know what this is. It's like little journal spots. But see, I've never used this. It has stamps. I'm pretty sure it has a stamp set with it that is, you know, you stamp on there. It would be like pastel pink or green behind this or whatever. It's journal spots. But again, I might decide I don't need some of these. I'm not too sure. We'll play around with them. This is a beautiful beach scene with a wave. Really pretty. Not too sure I've ever used it, but I really liked it when I saw it and had to buy it. Oops. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. These are a tag set. And like a button kind of thing and a label. That's kind of fun. Very user-friendly, like generic kind of, can be used with anything. This is a coffee set. So this set has a stamp that goes with it. I'm almost positive it has a stamp set that goes with it. And I've used this to make some coffee cups. Here's trees, it looks like. More Christmas trees. Really cute. Bee, honeycomb, baby bees. I don't think I've ever used it. Maybe I have. I don't think so. I don't see any paper in there. I don't think I've ever used this set. Really cool. Big tags. A cute little envelope, like a Happy Meal envelope. It'd be fun to cut a bunch of these. Again, you got to take out, you got to separate it and do whatever. Super fun. Oh, soccer. Butterflies. These are beautiful corners. Really pretty. 3 different corners. Really love those. And this is a really pretty envelope. Again, it's smaller than I thought when I bought it because I'm not a great reader of fine print or whatever. And I thought it was like kind of like maybe a regular size envelope, if you will. But it's super pretty. It looks super cute on the corner of my journal page, and I'm really happy with it. But again, I rarely use it. I've used it a couple times, but anyway. Okay, friends, that is my die cut selection of the dies I have. Now I have dies that are cut out either from Happy Meal or if you want to see my stash of what's already cut out, please let me know. But that's my selection I'm working with. So I don't know what my goal is for this challenge this month. I really don't know. I obviously have more than 30. I'm obviously not going to use all of them. I would like to go through and reorganize them a little bit, especially the ones that need a stamp set with them. It seems silly in my brain now. I know it made sense at the time because I use them as stamps, but it seems silly if I'm ever going to use the die cut. Now I got to go find the stamp set. So it makes sense to keep those together. So I'm going to do that. I have to make some decisions, honestly, about, well, not even this set. Like, these are still usable. I guess I need to decide if I'm ever going to use this machine again and if I should let it go, as well as my paper wizard, as well as my Cricut. I will tell you, the minute I get out my Cricut cartridges, though, I will fall in love again. Like, I fall in love with this idea. It's just the actual, like, cutting of it. Like, when it gets stuck or it gets jammed or it doesn't, like, I get so frustrated with it. But I love this. I don't even know. Like, they have, like, hanging spiders, and they have this font is really cool, and it has cool words. And I don't know. So I'm really hoping that I can get out my Cricut machine and figure out a way to use it. I really hope the thing, yeah, it is still in here. I'm really hoping to use this. So one of my goals this month will definitely be to use my Cricut machine. That's definitely a goal. And that will help me decide if I'm actually going to keep it or not. Yeah, that's it. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in a nice way. How about that? Let me know if you're playing along. Do you even have die cuts? Is this something you even have or struggle with? Because I think for some of us, when we don't have a supply, we're like, oh, I need that or whatever. And you probably don't. You probably don't. Let me know your thoughts. I don't know. I really enjoyed the embossing when we did it. And yet here they are. I have not embossed since that month, but I love them. And so I'm wondering if, like, once a month I need to go, I don't know, emboss a couple things, die cut a couple things, stamp a couple things, and have them ready to use that month. I might separate out, like, the Christmas trees into my December stuff, into my Christmas tree, into my Christmas packs of like scrapbooking paper. And because I'm not too sure they need to sit on my desk all year, even if I decide to make Christmas cards in July, which I've never done, but let's say I get that whim, I would pull my Christmas stuff out. So I might separate the dies and put them where, like those themed ones. I do know I have a pumpkin one in my October stuff over there, so I might choose to do that. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your other storage ideas. I think I want to get rid of these boxes for sure and put them in the envelopes. Obviously, that would save space, right? The problem with these old school ones, obviously these big ones, is that they were just so big. They just take up so much space, right? These old foam ones. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, because they're so thick comparatively to this. I mean, that's a no-brainer, but I mean, I have them. So let me know. I'm actually super excited. I was kind of really hesitant of die cuts. I really was like, oh no, die cuts is a big undertaking, but I'm excited to get them out. I'm excited to use them. And that is the whole point of this whole challenge. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Please comment below. Let me know your thoughts about all of it. I appreciate you being here. And I hope you find something today that inspires you. Take care.